the vacancy in the position of Deputy Speaker has again come to the limelight, with Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge writing a letter to the Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi, requesting him to at least appoint the Deputy Speaker in the upcoming monsoon season. But if we observe, the position of Deputy Speaker from the 1st Lok Sabha to 16th Lok Sabha was elected along with the Speaker. And usually, by convention, the Deputy Speaker position was always given to one of the opposition parties in order to ensure that the Lok Sabha will have bipartisan leadership. But unfortunately, from the last Lok Sabha, that is from the 17th Lok Sabha, that is from 2019 to 2024, and the 18th Lok Sabha from 2024 to current time, there has been no position of Deputy Speaker, and the position of Deputy Speaker has been left vacant. We have always been speaking about the reduction in parliamentary working and parliamentary cooperation between the ruling party and opposition party. And if opposition is not given representation in positions of power in the Lok Sabha, naturally what they will do is they are going to take up a confrontationist stand. Because of which reason only the parliamentary productivity over the past few years has substantially come down, and most of the bills, without proper discussion, they are being converted into acts. Maybe appointment of a Deputy Speaker position would help us in resolving this conflict and build confidence between the ruling party and opposition. And along with that, the ruling government is able to take advantage of a flexibility provided in the Constitution under Article 93. So that is nothing but under Article 93, it is said that once the House is convened as soon as possible, 2 persons should be elected to the Speaker and Deputy Speaker's position, but it has not been done so far. It has been not done from the 17th and 18th Lok Sabha. There is a position of Deputy Speaker has been left absolutely vacant, and this doesn't bode well for the legislative sanctity of India. We all have seen the case of Delhi Public School in Dwarka, where a disproportionate rise in the school fee has led numerous parents to protest against the school. In fact, the DPS at Dwarka has followed many unethical practices like not releasing the result of the students, withholding their mark sheets, and along with that, making them sit in the libraries rather than in the classrooms, or completely disenrolling them from the school. These kind of extreme actions by the DPS Dwarka have triggered a response from the Delhi government. The Delhi government has passed an ordinance which is waiting the President's approval, and the ordinance goes by the name Delhi School Education, Transparency in Fixation and Regulation of Fees Ordinance of 2025. And this ordinance, it creates a regulatory mechanism for the school fees. In fact, it proposes a 3-tier regulatory mechanism wherein at the school level itself, there would be a school level committee where the student representatives, the parent representatives, the representatives of the school, all of them are going to collectively take a decision and fix the amount of fee hike. And if there is no consensus at the school level committee, then it will be appealed to the district committee. And at the district committee, there will be management of the appeals from the school level decisions. And if the district committee also there is no consensus, then there will be a revision committee at the state level. And this revision committee will be chaired by the Director of Education and some parent representatives, and they will take the final decision on the fee hike. And whatever decision is taken by the revision committee, it is going to be binding on the schools for nearly 3 years. And if any school resorts to unregulated fee rise without the approval of this 3-tier regulation mechanism, then automatically it would be subject to some penalties ranging from 1 to 5 lakh fine for the first violation, 2 to 10 lakh fine for the second violation, and in extreme cases when they are repeat offenders, all the school management would be suspended from managing the school. This is the kind of regulation which is being brought. As we know well that in Indian society, education has become, that too quality education has become the commodity of a few sections of the society. There is a high need to bring about this kind of fee regulations, as in many parts of the country, the school fees are going to the extent of 4 or 5 lakhs even for the students who are studying first and second standard. So the Delhi government's initiative should become a model for the other states too, and similar regulations should be brought across, primarily because education is not supposed to be a commercial activity in India. And the school management committee or the school committee which is supposed to determine the price, it takes a consultative stakeholder approach where multiple stakeholders are being consulted who are affected by the fee hike. This is a democratic way of decision making. Rather than government fixing a fee, what is fixed as fair by the school level committee is going to be the final fee of the school. So this is a reform which is long overdue, and finally, okay, it is going to see the light of the day after the presidential assent. Despite of absence of data from the decennial census as reported by multiple national agencies earlier, now confirmed by UN Population Fund, India has become the world's most populous country, with its population standing at 146.39 crore. In fact, we have surpassed China, whose population currently is a mere 141 crore. But here, the UN Population Fund also has made a very interesting observation that the total fertility rate of India has become 1.9. It is much below the replacement level of 2.1. And even the national agencies also said that earlier that our total fertility rate has reached 2.0. But 1.9 is a much appreciable figure. But despite of 1.9 of TFR, our population will continue to grow for the coming 40 years. In fact, our population is going to reach 170 crore, and after that its decline is going to start. And along with that, the UNPF fund, it has very clearly stated that in India there is significantly high percentage of working age population, that is demographic dividend, which is going to help us in reaching our economic aspirations. It has been stated that India's youth population currently is about 24% of the population in the age bracket of 0 to 14, 17% in the age bracket of 10 to 19, and 26% in the age bracket of 10 to 24. And along with this, it is also stated that 68% of Indian population is in the working group, that is 15 to 64 years. Nearly 68% of the population is present. Now, the UN also has stated very clearly that overpopulation is not the real crisis in India. It is in fact lapse of reproductive agency. It means that people even till date don't have control over how many children they are going to have, when they are going to have them, and with whom they are going to have them. This is what is called as a reproductive agency, and the UN is saying that even overpopulation is not the problem, but absence of reproductive agency is the real issue at the heart of the population crisis in India. June 11th every year is celebrated by the Indian government as Sadhguru Kabir Sahib's birth anniversary. In fact, Kabir Sahib, or Kabir to be short, is a very famous Bhakti saint of India. In fact, Kabir is known for his composite culture, and along with the composite culture, he is also very well known for promoting an integral humanism concept, wherein he is talking about the integrals or the commonalities between Hinduism and Islam. In fact, he is the only Bhakti saint who proclaimed that Ram Rahim Ek Hai. And along with that, through very simple poems, he was able to promote ethics among the people. And along with promoting ethics, as he is a weaver, he was also protesting against the government and its taxation through his simple poems. And along with that, he was also talking about the issue of poverty in society, gender relations in society, and along with that, the caste system and caste-based discriminations, all of them were spoken about by him in his Dohas, Banis and Sakis. He wrote in very simple Hindi language and Awadhi language, and he was a resident of Varanasi, and his philosophy is so impactful that later day, both Hindu and Muslim communities started claiming Kabir as their own. In fact, the story goes this way, wherein it is said that he was born to a Brahmin widow, but was brought up by a Muslim weaver family, because of which reason he had both the influence of Hinduism and Islam. And along with that, Kabir is also so popular that a group of or a sect was formed after him, and the people who follow his sect even today are called as Kabir Panthis. And Kabir's uniqueness is he was able to, in fact, blend the world views of both religions of Islam and Hinduism, and at the same time criticize both the religions for their limitations. And along with that, despite of having a very staunch criticism of some redundant religious aspects, Kabir always remained completely theistic and he believed in a formless God. Thank you.